Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the Mac. Welcome back to another showcase here of squad battles, man. The proud and the few. It's actually a requested game on the channel. It's taken me a long time to actually showcase it, but here it is finally. Just realized I haven't uploaded anything for about 10 days. It's summertime, man. I'm busy. I'm still working actually. I don't have my vacation towards the end of the summer there, so and lots of other stuff going on. So I haven't had much time to review some games, but I'm going to try and get back into it. And now, of course, with that great sale going on at Wargame Design Studios, which is the the perpetrator of this game. It's actually a John Tudor legacy game. It's a good time to pick up your favorite game, man, during the sales. It's running a couple of more days there. I think it ends the 4th, maybe, of July. So do pick up copies now, man. It's $10 discount there. So try to select something. I haven't actually bought that much. I thought I would buy a couple of games, actually. I've only actually bought 2 titles so far. I might get something in the weekend. I'm not sure. I actually bought this title here because this is actually one I've been wanting to have for quite a while. And also some Panzer campaigns, man. Tunisia 43. That's going to be fun to get out and play. It's always been very interesting, that last-ditch effort, hold on to Africa by the Axis, although they were hopelessly outnumbered. Right, so let's get back to this game, man. So the proud and the few, man, squad battles. So this is the All-American War in the Pacific. It's all about the Marines, U.S. Army versus the Japs, man. And it's quite extensive. I think it comes with like 46 scenarios. And of course, you can get scenarios from all those gaming sites like the Blitz Forum and other places you can have a look at. There's some links actually in the Wargame Design Studio at some of those other sites where you can actually get user-created scenarios, or you can create your own. There's in every single game, there's always a possibility to create your own stuff, your own scenarios. Right. So this is the Great Crusade there to rid the Pacific from the evil Japanese Empire, and it's. Well, for Americans, this is for them, this is what we in Europe feel about Europe, I guess. Because this is what their own men and women that bled to fight off the Japanese there after that sneak attack, man, on Pearl Harbor that destroyed the better part of the American fleet there, thanks to a couple of aircraft carriers that would actually not, if they had been there, it would have been a devastating blow for the Americans, but all their aircraft carriers were saved. It sort of became their trademark that the age of aircraft carriers, man, really picked off after that. And of course, the Japanese had a few of them of their own, but the Pacific War was pretty bloody, man, and very grueling. Hard fighting there, man. They were like island hopping there, the Americans, to retake all this land that the Japanese had occupied. So it was a pretty badass campaign, man. Right, so that's what this game is all about. 46 scenarios covering it. And some pretty good documentation as well in the games. Actually, some very good documentation in this game. Very extensive. So just going into the folder here, this looks standard. It's what you got basically in every single game there. There is a campaign that's been deactivated. I've noticed that. I don't know why it's been. Maybe it's because all these games have overgone the massive update 4.0 that Wargame Design Studio did when they took over the catalog there. But there's some big plans for squad battles, as we have seen on the news site, the recent news there on Wargame Design Studios page. They're working on some major updates for these titles, and that's going to be so fun because this is a very popular title, Squad Battles. It's very popular. It's actually my favorite, and I think my most favorite is Panzer Campaigns. I really love those games. And then Squad Battles, and definitely Panzer Battles as well. It's pretty good. And all the other goodies. But those three are my most favorite. Yeah, as you probably can tell, I've covered most of those are covered on the channel there. Right, so not much here. I've actually already pre-opened the most important files here. This is good. Here you have all the icons and all the units and stuff, and all these PDFs are of course important. But in the notes, you do get some goodies here. Man, you get like maps of different islands, and the Pilo, Betio, and Tarawa, and all those goodies. And they have some tips here for making maps, squad battles editing. There's actually some PDFs covering 2 important scenarios that comes with the games as well. So that's a good folder to check out when you've installed the game. Otherwise, there's all the goodies. You got the good old getting started. Actually, I played this off camera, man. It was a fucking hard scenario. Man, they really get you into it. It's a very tough fight, this. It's really hard. I mean, there's some pretty badass Japanese defenders there. And you're like in charge of a couple of Marine platoons going for an attack there to take out, I think it's like a radio station or something. And man, it's tough. I haven't actually finished it, but I've taken a heck of a lot of casualties. Yeah, it's the radio station there. It's a good one, this. I'm not going to play this on the channel. This is for you guys who actually buy the game to explore it. It's a really fun scenario. It's good. It's really good. Get the good old user manual there. Quite extensive there. You've got the campaign maps. Okay, so here's something that's actually quite confusing. Because if you open the game, all the scenarios are listed here, like top to bottom here. There's 46 scenarios, including the tutorial. But they're not numbered, and they're not actually in order. So this is actually, you can't use this for it. I mean, it says here that actually scenario number 3 is supposed to take part in Guadalcanal, but you have a number 1 here. If you go to 3, you will be in Tarawa. So that's wrong. Maybe this would be, I mean, this is August 17th. This is Guadalcanal here, maybe. This is, I mean, if you jump over these, you get to Iwo Jima. So it's kind of, you can't really follow these maps at the moment because the scenarios are not actually in the correct number order. They got another PDF covering all these famous islands that they attacked. So it's good. I mean, okay, maybe I read it wrong. It was Florida Islands there. Even if I went to scenario number 9, it's not Guadalcanal. If I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, that's still Iwo Jima there. That could be, I mean, the River of Blood is 2 parts to that scenario. I mean, it could be that, because this is actually this one scenario, but in different setups. I don't know. I still find it quite confusing. So, but there is actually a good, if you open the almighty notes, man, here you have it. So here they actually have a list of all the scenarios and the date in chronological order, because if they're not in chronological order here, they're all over the place. So this is good if you want to like play them in actual chronological order of the war. It goes up from 41 there to the end of 45 there, those last battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa. And there's actually one huge scenario, it says, 3 to 4 hours on the Japanese mainland there. Kyushu Killing Ground. See if we can find that. Sounds interesting. Okay, they're actually in alphabetical order. There we go. Yeah, this one here, 20 turns. 3 to 4 hours, man. So 20 turns doesn't sound that long. 3 to 4 hours. I bet you're controlling a shitload of troops, though. That's why it takes so long time. So it's actually a hypothetical situation there. What if the invasion of the Japanese homeland had taken place? This portrays the landing of units of the 2nd Marine Division. Storm ashore on the western beaches of Kyushu Island. Got some historical background there. It's quite extensive. So that's cool. They got that. What else? Yeah, so the first one here, taking it personally, 12-10-41. It's Guam. So you got to go down there. Taking it. Here we go. So it's a pretty big one as well. It takes about an hour. It's the first scenario there, December 10th, 1941, Guam, 9 o'clock. This could be played. This could be a 2-player game, but the Japanese player will have a little harder time of it. Okay. U.S. Marine Corps orders. Colonel McNulty has issued orders. We are to hold the beach as long as possible, then withdraw just past the river. Be advised, your men and Guama Marine. What the hell does it say? Guamamanians? Okay. Have not seen combat. Some may withdraw from the line. If so, you are to make the proper adjustments. All right, so different orders there if you're playing the U.S. Marine Corps, Japanese there. Japanese used this sneak attack on the U.S. installation at Pearl Harbor as a catalyst to begin the actions over the vast expanse of the Pacific. This was the first step in establishing a defensive ring of the thousands of miles around what the empire felt was the part of the great Asian prosperity sphere, where the leaders of Japan would rule supreme. All right. Wow, some really good scenario descriptions here. Some really cool research and time effort taking it. Would take about an hour, 3/4 an hour. So I'm definitely going to be playing one of these, man. I'm not sure yet. You can pause the video, have a look. Maybe you can have a request there. Type something in the comments there, what you feel would be fun to see played here. Obviously not something that's really long, but like that one. Otherwise, it looks doable. Okay, we got something like 4 hours here, man. Red Beach 2. Okay. Yeah. So this is good, man. They got that. And then this just goes on. I mean, look at this. The notes are 133 pages long in this. It's the most extensive notes I've ever seen in any game so far. And it's written by this legendary man called Wild Bill Wilder. He's like a legend in wargaming and even Matrix games. And he was part of Steel Panther production. And I mean, shitload of games. I think I even played like way back, like 20 years ago or something, even more. I think I played like PBM battles versus Wild Bill Wilder. He was part of some wargaming club I was part of in those days. I think I played some battles against him. Wish I saved those emails. It was probably long lost in some old email server I used back then. But he's a legend, man. And he's done a lot of work on this title. And most of the stuff here is actually credited to Wild Bill Wilder. So I guess he was like an expert in the Pacific War, because a lot of this stuff is really... There's a lot of text here and a lot of information about the war, tactics, the Japanese, the Americans, the different battles and stuff. It's just amazing. Weaponry as well. So here's like an overview of the war. Like a history lesson here, man. And here you have the Japanese strategy, the initiative. I mean, it's so extensive. He's used some sources there, so it's not all from his head, but I mean, it's good stuff. Then you have Semper Fi, History of the U.S. Marine Corps. Loads. Bibliography, World War II in the Pacific. Lots of like reading material that you can look up and read about the war. Here's some like good movies to watch that are based in the Pacific. Some really good ones here, man. And this was before the Pacific, of course. That HBO is really good as well. Very good. The creators of Band of Brothers. But there's some good movies here, man. Check them out. And there's something, the Japanese soldier. It's like lots of text about the Japanese soldier, basically. U.S. naval aircraft designations. It's pretty cool. A new rifle for a new war. Only the best. The M1. Is that the M1? Or was that the carbine? Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I always mixed. The carbine is smaller, of course, and the M1 was that main rifle the army used. Yeah, look at all this text. Here we go. M1 would be the first rifle for the U.S. Armed Forces. Yeah, it's a good rifle, man. Semi-automatic. Yeah, during that period, 4 million rifles were produced. Springfield and Winchester armors. Jeez, all right. And you have the Medal of Honor there, the highest honor. I mean, this is good stuff. There's so much here. Yeah, and then it talks about the difference of that the dreadnoughts were basically over, and now it was the aircraft carrier was basically the new thing. If you had like lots of aircraft carriers and strike planes, I mean, you could beat up any of these battleships easily. So air power was important at sea as well. There's a famous from the flag raising there, which actually proved to be not the ones that actually. If you've seen that movie about those guys, it wasn't actually them. It was actually some other guys that came up there first and put the flag up, and then for a good shoot, they took down the flag and they raised a new one. So, yeah. Still, it's a very symbolic victory photo there. A lot of people died putting that flag on the top of that mountain. Yeah, so it goes on, man. Here goes the Guadalcanal. The first hero of Guadalcanal. Tanks and Pililiu. Hard to pronounce that. So this guy is just pretty good here, because here it goes like in chronological order, I think, basically talking about different. Yeah, here we go to Tulagi, the first blow, Solomon Islands there. So my knowledge is not that great of the Pacific, actually. I mean, I've seen a lot of movies about it, and I read some, but it's a war I think that many of us Europeans are not that dedicated to, because it was basically so far away from us, and I mean, we had. Europe was closer, and all the shit that went on here. So but for Americans, this is a very piece of important history. Because a lot of people died in this campaign. It was a very brutal war in the Pacific there, and lots of storming the beaches, getting shot to pieces, and bleed for a couple of yards. It was hell. And then the Japs were, I mean, they suffered a lot as well. I mean, it was crazy the way they fought. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to scroll through the whole thing, but wow, I think you can actually look at this from the website as well. They have the designer, but look at man, look at this. It just goes on. It's insane. Wow, this is good stuff. You can tell this is serious, man, with all this documentation here. Let's get back to the game here. Right, so a big update is planned for the squad battles. I mean, if you look at the news section, so I don't have the page open here, but yeah, they've got some good plans here, man. And they even updated the naval campaigns now. And this is France 40. I hope they're making they're making a mega update on France 40, but they might actually do updates for the remaining Panzer campaigns. That would be fun as well. But they have some really cool stuff for the, I think it's this one here, the squad battles, man. Go to this site here and have a look at the, is this the correct one? Let's see here. Yeah, this one shows some of the graphics updates and icons and stuff. So they're probably going to do a complete overhaul. I mean, this looks good, man. Look at this. Wow. 3D graphics, man. Look pretty cool. And the portraits here. Wow, that's something new for squad battles for sure. And they have the other updates there. Yeah, so gonna play something. If you guys, I showed you that list. If you can't like tip me off with something good to play here, I'll pick something that's interesting. It would be fun to play something early or mid-war, or it would be fun to try something late war as well. We'll see. There's plenty to choose from here. So maybe when they do those updates for the squad battles, they'll fix the campaigns, because there used to be campaigns in this title, but they've actually removed them. So they're probably maybe overlooking them and replanning them and making them in some other format. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating here. I don't know that for sure. But I hope, because the campaign system was pretty fun, maybe they make it more deep, you know, that it actually, because before it was the old campaign system was actually, it didn't really matter how well you did. You just played a series of chronological linked scenarios, but it didn't actually, you know, you didn't get to keep your men from every fight, and they didn't gain experience, and even you got recruitments, and that would be cool if they did that in squad battles, man. If you can have like have a platoon or a company of soldiers and then duke it out over a certain time period and see them grow and get replacements and like get better, like their quality rating increases as they've been around a long time. I mean, maybe they could do that. That'd be really cool. That would be amazing, because the game system is so fun. So I'm just going to fire up you can see there's the grab. Okay, I'm just going to put the automatic here, because this is actually the tutorial one. So you just have a look here. Graphics they're going back to those old graphics. I like these a lot. They look pretty cool actually. But the ones they're working on now looks really good as well. Not the great fan of the top-down mod. There's actually, yeah, look at this. Yeah, 3D graphics here. Although they might be improved, I'm not sure. They look slightly more slick. I'm not sure. They might have done some improvements here. Yeah, so this is the attack here. This is the radio station. You got to go in here. Okay, so you got, I think you have like, what do you got here? There might be actually 4 platoons you're in charge of or something. I think you have a heavy weapons company as well. Got to go in here. We're going to use scouts and stuff and take these out. Pretty cool. Yeah, so the graphics are about the same, I guess. Yeah, that covers it about this introductory video here. And then the next, we're going to go into do a scenario there. So if you have any requests, do type in the comments there, or I'll just choose something, man, and play it. So looks like a good title, this. This looks promising. Pretty good game to play if you want to get into the Pacific War. And definitely this, where was it? Yeah, these notes, man. I guess if you read through all these notes, you'll be an expert on the war. Because it says so much stuff here, man. I like it. I love it. Right. So I want to thank you guys for watching there, man. And I'll see you in the next part. So have a good one.